What's up, guys? We are back in the shop today. We are getting a little more prep done for the ride we got coming up in a couple weeks here. Today we are putting a new sprag and rollers in this Ranger, what is this, 900? I think it's a 900, 800. But the front sprag is popping. Whenever he turns and getting a bind, I think it's missing a couple rollers. So we have got new roller, new sprag. I'll put this in here. So first steps are going to be taking wheels and tires off, and then got to take the bottom A-arm off there to get to the front diff, which is in there. Got to pop the axles out, take the diff out, come out through the side. So shouldn't be too bad of a job. We'll get right at it. Alright, so the next difficult part is getting the roll pin out of the drive shaft, which is, can't hardly see it, right there. You gotta take a punch and punch it through, and probably put a 1/4-inch bolt back through it, because roll pins can be a pain in the butt. But after that, I'll just unbolt the diff and it'll come out the side here. That's the plan anyway. Okay, so we're inside the diff. Most of these Polaris diffs are all the same-ish design, different variations, but anyway, the plate comes off. There's your armature plate. Looks like it's in good shape. So then, this is one of the hubs. A little worn, but what year is this? 2010. So this is an old dog, so it's gonna have a little wear. So we were missing some of the rollers from here. We did this diff a little while ago and some of the rollers were no good, so we put it back together temporarily, and that's why it was popping. It was missing about half the rollers on one side. So now we got new rollers and a new sprag, so we'll have an extra one. So all these little rollers, as soon as you take this plastic piece off, will go flying. So try to line it up first like that and push it all down at the same time. Is the best bet. Oh boy. Yeah, when you try to do this without this plastic piece, you push all the rollers in and it's like boom.
Makes sense.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Got half of them in. Oh boy. Oh no! So now you get to see what they look like when you do that. Alright, so we got new spragg in there, new rollers, got the hub back in there, armature plates on there. Should be able to throw the plate back on there and call it a day, put everything back together. Pretty easy job. A lot of people don't want to get into these front diffs because they're scared of them. But they're really not that bad. Pretty simple design once you kind of understand it. Alright, we got it all wrapped up. Ryan's here. Should be good to go. Take it for a little test drive. Hopefully nothing falls off.
Can you go to the right here?
There you go. Well, he's got a lot of faith in my mechanical ability.
No shit. You a wheel bearing too or not?
Alright, so the other thing we have to do with this Ranger, actually it's the next day. Hey Ryan. Different clothes, next day. We're doing this back driver's side wheel bearing, and it was pretty jacked up. Could grab the top of the tire and move it about 2 inches. So, got ourselves a nice shiny new Harbor Freight press. Harbor Freight for the win. And basically, you take the snap ring out and then just press it out of there. I already did it, forgot the video. So, this comes out, and we'll get a video of us pressing it back in. Alright, so when you press the new bearing in, you gotta be careful, make sure everything's in line going down in there. Some people use Loctite on the outside of it so it doesn't spin on the outside, but I never have, and I don't have any problems. But should press right into there. It gets kind of hard.
It's leaning this way a
little bit. Oh, is it?
You gotta hammer something.
See, you gotta be careful because it'll start leaning if you don't get it in there right. Yeah. It'll pop and get straight in there. Make sure you press it all the way down enough to get the snap ring back on.
That's it.
Till it stops. Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty much it.
And pop it back up. You have to find something the right size of the bearing. I actually had my brother cut this out on the CNC machine. So, okay. Now, just got to get the snap ring back in. Here, you want to hold this? Good. Easier said than done.
They make this thing to hold stuff for you. It's called a vise. And there's one right there.
Vise. Sweet. Done. New wheel bearing. Alright, now I just gotta put it back on. Alright, now I gotta reinstall the hub. Got bolt there, Goes on here, and you get your X bolt on there. Oh, actually, that part first, then the axle bolt, and then should be ready to go. Alright, all set. Got our brakes hooked back up. These bushings are a little rough. I'll probably be seeing that before too long. Axle's back in there. Should be good to go. Ready for next weekend. Alright, all back on the ground. Ready to rock and roll. I think you're in drive or reverse. Satisfied customer pulling out of the garage. Actually, free customer, I guess, but all right, so that's it on the Ranger XP 800 spragg replacement and wheel bearing replacement. I'm getting tuned up here for a ride here in a couple weeks, and should be good.